Welcome and thank you for hanging out with us. This is a special edition of the IT in the D Show. We are broadcasting over at the CXO Forum in the Madison Lofts in beautiful Detroit, Michigan. I'm your host, Bob Waltenspiel. Co-host this week, Erik Wille. You might know him from the CXO Forum. You might know him as the CTO of Cabinetworks Group. You also might know him from the Great Security Debate podcast. You might know him as an all-around great guy, but Erik and I are going to be doing this six-part series here at the CXO Forum. And a special shout-out, Randy Walker. Today he's going to be soundboard engineer instead of co-host producer extraordinaire. Actually, producer too. But yeah, you can find us online, itinthed.com. Do us a favor, give us a like on the socials, subscribe to us everywhere fine podcasts are sold. Without further ado, this will be a six-part series. We hope you enjoy it and see you soon. Not only do I have a co-host with me that's not Randy. Randy's running the board, but Erik Wille is going to be the illustrious co-host of this segment here of the IT and the D Show.
I got some big shoes to fill now.
He's only a size 12. I think you'll be all right. But speaking of big guests, we're like super lucky. We have two of the famousest people we've had on the show. Is that a word?
Today it's a word.
Today's word is now. Martin Bally is in the house. He is the CISO of the Campbell's company. That changed. We'll get into that in a minute. We also have Galina Antova from Kite, the founder of Kite. I learned you're Bulgarian, but you live in LA.
Yeah.
And we got to jump in. We got to talk. How do you like Detroit? How long have you been here? Have you been here before?
I've been here many times. It's just getting better and better.
What's your favorite pizza? Let's go through all of
it. Put you right on the spot.
That's challenging. I'm married to an Italian, so I got to be careful about what I say about pizza. But yeah, Detroit's got some pretty good spots.
You can say buddies. We won't fight you on that.
I like that place in Melvindale. What is it? Freddy's great. I love Detroit style pizza, but Freddy's is like great.
So hashtag trust the fat guy. Freddy's is the best thin crust. My opinion, the guys at Palazzo di Pizza on 11 Mile in Campbell is the best Detroit deep dish.
I love Campbell.
Hands
Anything
down.
with Campbell, we're going.
Right. Speaking of that, let's dive into that because like I've known you already. The third company you've been with, and you went to Campbell's, and you were like, yeah, that's not the everyone thinks of just soup. And if you talked about like the brands, it's not, I wouldn't say insane, but it's crazy like how evolved that company's become. 150-year-old company, and it's half the stuff in our pantry is made by you guys.
Over 90%. Let's get that right.
Over 90.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, when you think about the brands Prego, Rayos, Michelangelo's, Pepperidge Farms, Schneider, Kettle Chips, right?
Yeah.
Cape Cod. I love Kettle Chips, man.
I do too.
I'm a fat guy
Homemade dip.
too.
Yeah, I'll give you a dip recipe.
Yeah, there's so much stuff. I mean, it is. I never knew all the brands until you go there because that's part of the onboarding.
Yeah.
Going through the archives and knowing the history and how they hit it big through condensed soup. We used to buy soup before. It was like a giant can because the water was in there, right? Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
So protecting, like being from the automotive and now protecting a brand more, like how is the like managing security different? Because you just did a keynote talking about your implementation of Kite and getting into a brand, like how does your outlook differ now coming from automotive and moving into like a food product? Is it any different, or are you still protecting data, looking for threats? Like, is it anything changed in that world?
Yeah, I would say, right, the biggest change is like in automotive, there was a product security element. So, there's no electronics in the food, which is, I'm thankful for that, right?
Not yet.
Yeah. So, but we still have the traditional, like the OT stuff. There's element of safety still there. Like if you look at vehicle safety, now you look at food safety. Right, so that's still there. It's really
if you get
refreshing.
One person sick, like that's the food safety quality issues has got to be almost as stringent as auto safety. Like if you have a loose lug nut and a wheel falls off, you're on the news.
Yeah,
and is that the biggest fear, that you're going to be on the news tomorrow?
Yeah, always. And I mean, not a fear, but it's in a sense, it's definitely damaging. Right. I mean, especially a brand like that, we get picked out a little bit, but it's a 150-year-old brand, right? We do a lot of good things, and I think right now, especially with kind of unknowns that are going on in the economy, people are hunkering down. They're buying more of our brand.
Yep.
Yeah,
I saw a thing. I don't know if it was on Squawk Box, but your CEO came out and said that your product sales of this year has surprisingly gone up by a lot because people are cooking home more because of their insecurities of the economy. And I was kind of shocked because I sold beer in college, and the old man used to always say, there's two things that are recession proof: alcohol and vanity. I never really saw though as eating at home as being one of those things, but apparently your sales are through the roof, and it's due to people questioning the economy tomorrow, which was I thought it was fascinating.
Yeah, I think we did really well during COVID, and that's kind of coming back a little bit because of the uncertainty. On the other side, we got a lot of different things right now that are affecting us, like the Ozempic and Wegovy and all that. People are now on these treatments that are with the weight loss.
Interesting. I had never even thought about that.
Yeah, you said that to me this morning. I'm like, that would never have crossed my mind.
Yeah, so that's taken into consideration too, right?
It's us fat guys that have grew up on Pepperidge Farm. Now we're like, hey, a minute, I gotta.
It's so interesting, though, thinking about the paradigm and the impact of something that happens in security, right? Go back to, you and I cross paths in automotive. The changing cost to change brands within automotive is fairly high, right? That, yes, I've got an issue with my Tahoe right now. Am I going to go out, sell it, and go buy a Ford Explorer? Probably not, because it's fairly expensive. But in the food industry, it's super simple that I didn't like that bag of kettle chips. I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to go pick somebody else.
Or what's on sale.
Right.
Yeah, and I tell you, the other piece of it is the product on the shelf, because competitor products are right next. So it's like, if you don't have my, that brand or that flavor of Campbell soup, I'm just gonna buy the competitor.
Right. Not only that, like you want to get on the shelf at Meijer, and then Meijer's coming out with their own brand that looks and tastes exactly like yours. That's 25 cents less. It
doesn't taste like ours, but it might.
Never, but you know what? Yeah. So you spoke on Kite earlier, and we have the founder of Kite, Galina, here. When you decided to launch, obviously you have a history of startups or in growing companies, but what was the problem? You were like, I talked to all these people that used to be customers of mine, and there's a new problem I need to solve. What got you to found Kite, and what was the problem you're trying to solve?
Yeah, thank you. I just ended up talking to a ton of people, like hundreds of people. And I wasn't trying to sell anything. I was just genuinely asking, we're now in the year, 2024, 2025. You've got 3,000 security tools on the market. Fortune 500 organizations have 80 plus tools. And we're still not able to get to risk reduction, as fast as we should. So if I'm crazy enough to go and build another company, tell me, what should I be solving for you? So there's a good chance you're going to give me some money, down the road. And so that's how we build the whole roadmap for Kite. It's been super exciting and super fast. I think we went from first line of code to paying customers in almost 4 months, which is kind of incredible.
Wow.
And a ton of design partnerships like the ones that we have with Campbell that are now converting into paying customers. And I think what really moved the needle was the fact that we listened, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like a fancy kind of nice to have problem that we're solving. Everything that we're focused on, including problems like, vulnerability management, verification, is a very foundational to every single company. And the larger you are and kind of the more tools and the more people you throw at the problem, the bigger problem you have, right? And so that was the problem statement on one side is what really pushed me to start the company. Secondly, it's really the building blocks changed in the last 18 months with the Gen AI tools, right? I wouldn't have started another company if we were still doing things the way we were, 10 years ago. But that's what allowing us to move extremely fast. Now, AI is so overhyped, and there's so much BS in cyber. I can say that, right? It's just the marketing is incredible, and no, AI agents don't think, and they don't have cognition, and all of that BS that we're hearing from some companies. But they are incredible at unstructured data. They're incredible at tasks that humans just do not scale at. And when you drive that in an algorithm designed with PhDs and postdocs that know what they're doing about, the results are absolutely magical.
So we're taking, at my day job, we're taking legacy code that used to be 200,000-300,000 lines, turning it into a cloud optimized app with 5,000 lines, and we're doing it in 3 weeks. Was your timing just really good? How you are like, because you talk about, we call it accelerated engineering. It's a marketing term for AI assisted coding. But like, did that really help jumpstart to get you to speed? Because speed to market right now is everything.
Right, absolutely. There's some of that, but there's also like how we build our algorithms, right, on the back end, and like the building blocks for that are just absolutely incredible. And to be honest, like when we were putting together our AI team, like I went to every single like large security company that had a AI team, and at best they were last generation machine learning folks. And so we had to go to like companies outside of cyber to get folks that truly understand how to apply the new concepts. And so that hugely moved the needle for us. And we took a lot of inspiration from other industries that have done tremendously well with just taking tasks, everyday tasks that matter in an organization, and just absolutely like transforming those, right? So I think that that's one of the most urgent aspects in security is like, how do you get faster to risk reduction? How do you remove the manual work? How do you make sense of all the endless telemetry that you have?
So you brought up a term, machine learning, and I talked to Erik during lunch because I had a question, but I didn't want to take the microphone in the big room because I'm shy. And I was in the machine learning sim business 9 years ago. And with the way we always explained it in layman's terms was we're baselining normal, looking for weird.
Yeah.
And now you have these security tools that are introducing AI into it. And I basically went to Erik and I said, what's the difference between traditional UEBA machine learning sim?
Yeah.
And now is it just telling the story, or how has it evolved?
No, it's so much beyond telling the story. I mean, we spent basically, the last decade, everything was like machine learning, right? Detection, all of that was machine learning. And so with Gen AI, you don't need machine learning and looking for patterns and regular expressions anymore, right? You have the ability to process unstructured data, which is huge, right? You have ability to extract context. You have the ability with the AI agents to drive actions, right? They don't have cognition, but they're pretty good at following what needs to be done. And when you intelligently piece together those components, it is not science fiction to say that they're so much better than the humans at the jobs that no human wants to do. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can take
we
those.
Used to do when we were
right.
kids.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's like no matter how sophisticated you program, you talk to like pretty much any Fortune 500, and on top of the 5-7 tools that they're using for each discipline, there's still a little bit of sprinkle of Excel and a ton of people that are driving manual processes on top of that.
So that's we'll wrap. I got one last question. So I mean, that's the thing you had to tackle is, how do I build a complex product but make life simpler for Martin? And like, was that your goal in mind at the end of the day? Was like, this is a streamline operation, or what was?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you can put one flag into like what
very practical. What are the challenges that you have right now, and how we can use the advances in Gen AI to help you build that? We started one use case, second use case, and that's how we're building towards something that kind of unifies your whole security platform. Because one of the main things security suffers from is the fragmentation, right?
Yeah, right.
Awesome. Well, hey, we're getting the gong from the producers. But we're gonna wrap things up. Galina from Kite. Thank you for the time. Appreciate it, Martin. Always good to see you, brother.
Always good.
We'll get you in the studio soon enough. But we'll on to the next.
You don't trust my internet?
Appreciate it.
Get new internet. We're all shipping.